Hi, boys and girls. We are doing Module 6, Lesson 7 problem set. So you should have already done the daily video and a pattern sheet and the application problem during, you would have done the application problem during the Great Minds video. So we are going to continue with that and we're going to build our own line plot. So let's take a look at this. It says, Mrs. Weiss's class grows beans for a science experiment. The students measure the heights of their bean plants to the nearest quarter inch and record the measurements as shown below. So here we have heights of bean plants in inches, and these are all the different heights of each of the plants. Okay, so they just wrote them down and recorded them. Letter A says use the data to complete the line plot below. So that's what we're going to do. They gave us a space for the title. The title, of course, is Height of Bean Plants. They've given us the title already in the chart, Heights of Bean Plants. We always need a title for any kind of graph that we're doing. We don't need to put in inches because that's what we're going to have down here. So these are the heights. And here we're going to put in inches. And on our line plot, 1x is going to represent what? What do you think it's going to represent? One plant. Okay? So now what we need to do is make an x to represent each of these measurements at the top. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look at the first one and it's 2 1/4. So I'm going to go down here and make an X at 2 1/4 and then I'm going to put a line through that so that I know I did that one. Okay? I'm going to go down the row. You can go across or down, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go to the next one, 1 3/4. So I'm going to go here and put an X for 1 3/4. You're matching up those measurements. The next one is 2 inches. So I'm going to go down and put an X at 2 inches. Cross that off so I don't mark it twice. The next one is 2 1/2. So I'm going to go down here, put an X at 2 1/2. I want to show you, I'm going to go over here to this one, 2 1/4, so that you can see how to do this. 2 1/4, there's already an X there, so we're just going to go right on top of that and put an X right there. Boys and girls, what I want you to do now is go ahead and finish the table just as I started it with you and make all your X's at the bottom. When you're finished, come on back and check your work. Welcome back. You should see in blue all of the X's that you should have made. And boys and girls, after we collect data and we record it in a graph, it's always a good idea to ask yourself, what do I see? What is this data telling me? And what I notice is that the heights of the bean plants are really kind of spread out. There's not, they didn't all get really tall and they didn't all get, stay smaller. They're really kind of spread out. I noticed that 2 inches and 2 3/4 inches have the same number of plants. I also noticed that 2 1/4, 2 1/2, 3, and 3 1/4 all have the same number of plants. And I noticed that 1 3/4 has the most plants recorded there. So after you record the data, you just want to look at it and sort of make some observations about that. Boys and girls, you're going to be doing this exact same thing on your exit ticket. So on your exit ticket, you're just going to be building this line plot. So keep this handy. Think back to how we did this, what the process was. We're going to go ahead and answer some questions about our line plot that we just made. Letter B says, how many bean plants are at least 2 1/4 inches tall? So I'm going to go back and I'm going to start at 2¼ inches. At least means that they are that height or more. So go ahead and count how many bean plants we have from 2¼ all the way up to 3¼ Hopefully you got 14 plants. We just count the X's. Some of you may have counted the X's individually. I counted them 3, 6, 9, 12, 14. You can count them different ways. Letter C says, how many bean plants are taller than 2¾ inches? So now we're looking at 2¾ inches, but we want the ones that are taller than that. So we're not going to include that. We only want the ones taller than that. So that would be the 3-inch and the 3¼ inch. And we have 6 plants. We have to pay attention to the wording of the questions for this information. Letter D, what is the most frequent measurement? How many bean plants were plotted for this measurement? So the most frequent measurement means which one happened most often. Okay, so let's go back, and we already talked about this. It was 1¾ there are 4 there. So it's 1¾ inches. And how many? There are 4 plants on that one. All right. So remember to keep this handy when you're doing your exit ticket, and I will make a video of the exit ticket reading the information to you because again, I want you to focus on the map and the math and the plotting of the information.